Alright, Zim, we're gonna need as much pirate music as you can provide today. Because today is going to be about the pirates.
You are a pirate.
Yar har fiddle McGee. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. Yar har.
No. You're doing it wrong. It starts off with, do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yar har fiddle me dee. Being a pirate is alright with me. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Okay, let me try again. Yar har fiddle McGee. You are a pirate and that's alright with me.
Zim, you're being demoted.
Are you doing this on purpose?
This background music sounds familiar, but I can't point to where it's from.
Well, here, let me just go to the stream. Wait for the ad to finish. The Mighty Mighty Pokemon Opening Demo 2.
Intriguing.
Poor Jaffer. Forgotten by his friend. That really mean Gold King. Just forgetting people left and right.
Battle Royale. All right. Everything's in order.
Guys, go talk to Shadowbrine. No, don't run. That's just Gold King. He haunts the stream every now and then.
I'm haunting the stream currently.
Gold King doesn't really exist. You have nothing to fear.
He's really just a figment of my imagination that has been given a sort of pseudo life. He only exists
Depending
on
on how much of a life you consider slavery.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, I disassociated there for a moment. What's going on?
Well, right now I'm looking at a RimWorld meme.
I am begging for $30.
When a horde of tribal savages attack your colony but get slaughtered by your energy weapons and turrets, so you butcher their corpses and refine their human flesh into chem fuel, which you use to launch soldiers directly into their village and massacre their surviving families.
Zim, I sent you an important question on the Discord.
The Discord.
The Discord.
Does that answer your question?
No. It may or may not have actual story relevance, which is why I'm asking. Thank you. I had thought so, but I didn't want to make assumptions.
Now we have two shadows in here. It's getting darker. Darkness, darkness, darkness. Kingdom Hearts, darkness, darkness.
Oh, right. I need to get into Fantasy Grounds.
You do. That is something that you kind of need to do to play D&D with us. I really want to... I want the guy what Zim follows for music. Zim, who do you follow for music?
Well, the last song was 8-Bit Big Band. A lot of my music comes from Family Jewels. This one is from 8-Bit Big Band. Huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. But your science.
We do what we must because we can.
For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. Sans crying over every mistake. You just keep on trying till you run out of cake. And the science gets done, and they make a neat gun for the people who are still alive. Not even angry. I'm being so sincere right now. Even though you broke my heart and killed me and tore me to pieces and threw every piece into a file. As they burned, it hurt because I was so happy for you. Now these points of data make a beautiful line, and we're out of beta, we're releasing on time.
So I'm glad I got burned to think of all the things we've learned for the people who are still alive.
Yeah, John Command has...
Shadow Brian. I would absolutely love that. 8-Bit Big Band doing the Great Mighty Poop. Though I do actually have a few Great Mighty Poo remixes. Okay, I've got one. Anyways, hello everyone and welcome to the stream. I am Raw Zim, and this is Tales of Miraleth, Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, I had to dramatically pause for that. I will now turn it over to our own Great Mighty Pooh, Gold King. I am so gonna get killed.
Okay. So, hello everybody and welcome to Tales of Miraleth. I am Gold King, otherwise known as Moriarty McCann, the Fox Bard. I didn't know a Martin popped up over there, but that's cute. And this is Tales of Miraleth. As for most of our adventures, I oftentimes like to invite you, the viewer, to be joining us in the world itself. As basically anyone you so choose to be. As I'm the DM and I can invite you in to join in our little adventure. So where we had last left you off, you had recently arrived at Fortitude, and you had seen the great airship that had the heroes of Ventonland being taken off into the sky, headed for their destination to Elra. Upon its leaving of the port, a few pages had fallen down, written from Moriarty, that had been telling the next part of the story. And as you had finished the last page, another one seems to flutter on down. It seems as though they're falling rather slowly, which is somewhat irritating, but such is life. Anywho, as you pick up the next page, as it left off on a bit of a cliffhanger, with what looked like the ship soon to be boarding. The next page picks up exactly what left off. And let me go ahead and reshare the map with everyone. So, for the individuals that are on the main ship, you had seen two large harpoon-like projectiles that fired into the back of the wooden section of the ship, sort of into the captain's quarters area. And everyone was making a whole big fuss about there being a ship behind them that had followed them just above the storm that they had so daringly navigated through. Go ahead and position yourselves on the map where you would be to prepare for the incoming pirate attack.
I'm exactly where I left off, having thrown a fireball at them.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I'm just giving Craig a chance to move up since he was in the lowest deck and nowhere near the action. I'm also giving you guys a chance to reposition.
Quick question. What is the balloon? What does the material that the balloon is made out of seem to be?
That's a good question. These balloons are
Graham
made.
looks up and inspects it.
These balloons are made to be fairly sturdy, from what you can tell. As well,
Do I think that they would deflect even an arrow?
oh, easily not.
Okay, then that is not a sturdy balloon.
Well, it's not going to pop the balloon.
No, but if it's not gonna stop a projectile from going through it, then...
It might stop a projectile from going through it, but it won't stop the projectile from, piercing it.
It won't stop a projectile from entering it.
The projectile will enter and will probably get lodged, is your probably best basis on.
That's all I need projectiles to do.
Okay. Well, with that being said, is everyone in position?
I am.
Yes.
Okay.
Allow me to switch over to a nice, appropriate song for all of this. Works.
Also, do remember for map scaling sizing, every block is 10 feet instead of the normal 5, just to give more of a sense of actual largeness.
Actually, we'll start with this. More suspenseful.
Crescendo. Anywho. As the ship does start to slowly pull itself in, you notice that the fireball from before, where it was starting to burn at the lower decks of the hull of the ship, not long after the fact, some of the clouds, some of the storm clouds from, kind of the general area around where the ship is descending, move in front of the ship, and then quickly disperse. And it seems as though some form of magic has been used to use those clouds to put out the fires.
No!
How far away is the ship currently?
The ship is currently closing in. The harpoons seem to be slowing you down, so it is now getting into about, it's both, I would say it's about 150 feet in a straight line, but it is basically like, both up and, it's up and behind you, so it's still descending. So the main areas you could probably hit reasonably would be like the front bottom of their hull.
I would like to shoot the harpoon cables.
Okay. You may attempt to do so.
Alright. Eldritch Blast! And I get to fire twice for a single attack because of the level up.
Right. Go ahead and give me those 2 attack rolls. I will say you're trying to hit a rope, so it's...
Yeah, but these are ropes big enough for a ship to support a ship being pulled.
That's still
So-
about the size of maybe someone's arm.
Yeah, and I'm like right above them pretty much.
Yeah, that's fairly true.
They're not that
you,
far
you,
away.
you are about like 10 feet from them, so... The second one does hit. Roll me damage if you wouldn't mind. Okay, the Eldritch Splash blasts against it, and you can see the sort of, blasting damage burn around it. You can see like a few strands of the rope break on that particular strand. It doesn't completely destroy it, but it has done a lot of damage to it. And it seems to be holding on that side by just a tap.
Well, Graham is gonna keep doing that whenever he gets the... I guess whenever it comes back to my turn for action.
Right, which we don't exactly have a turn order quite yet, as combat more or less hasn't really been initiated, sort of.
Yeah,
It's definitely been initiated between ships, which puts me in an interesting position. So I suppose you could all roll initiative if you wanted to, because we do not currently have a standing initiative. There is no law or order. Zaire with that nat 1 coming in.
We all rolled like crap, but I
Hey,
have an insane
at
plus.
least these aren't your attack rolls. You're just getting the bad rolls out of the way first.
My initiative is always bad.
Well, this is the worst initiative yet. By the way, that reminds me, Zaire, at some point, I'm going to need to... But! Is this everyone that's participating? I suppose I should roll for Mario. Since he's there. Doing his... Is Snowy going to be doing anything in combat?
Not necessarily, but I figured might as well roll for Snowy just on the off chance.
Alright, then we just need a roll for Kai. And we will need a roll for our newest individual as well.
I don't think Kai's bothered about this right now.
Yeah, Kai is almost as disinterested as Zyre is.
How many trees did we roll?
1, 2, 3, 4. 4. The answer is 4.
5. No, yeah, you're right, 4. I'm tired.
You are tired. Stop being tired and be not tired instead. So would Magna Amberfell also give me an initiative? Whoever that might be.
You need to add them to the combat tracker.
Oh, they're in there.
Quick, someone poke them with a stick.
Are they in the call right now? Question mark, exclamation point. He's on mute. He sent me a message. Might just jump down. Sent him a PM, don't know what he's doing. And Sidier is not with us today, unfortunately, so Sidier will currently be asleep during the attack, having no idea what's going on, and will happen to be just a very heavy sleeper because they wear heavy armor. Trust me, it makes sense, even though it doesn't at all.
It blocks out the sound.
DC
Don't
for
worry.
sound damage.
Failure to report for duty is a punishable offense. We'll throw them in the brig.
Ah, there they are. Beautiful roll. Ah, I'm excited.
Sorry.
It's alright, you're perfectly alright. For now. Until bad things happen. Anywho. So, since more or less people did stuff already on the Royal Rainbow, while the ship is making its sort of own personal turn to move in, it seems to fire another round of these sort of large, instead of harpoons, they seem to be more like hooks. You notice that they fire more towards your upper balloon, and they hook on behind the fins of the balloon, pulling that a bit back as well. And now it seems to be gaining distance rapidly. It will likely be almost on top of you within the next turn.
Do I see the guards doing anything to like prevent any of this shit?
Well, you've got 2 guards at the back on arbalists who are kind of like moving those into position. Well, meanwhile, the rest of the guards are basically just preparing to be boarded. They're all brandishing weapons and getting ready. They can't really do much at this point, and Captain hasn't given orders for any evasive actions, and it's kind of too late at this point.
How hard is it for them to get like on top of the balloon and maneuver around? Would that be like insanely dangerous?
It would be insanely dangerous. It would
Or
require
did they-
constant
or did
acrobatics
they,
checks. It doesn't seem like a particularly good idea because really, first off, it's kind of hard to get up there to begin with. There is a sort of netting on it, so if you do get up there, you can climb around on that sort of midsection where you see the netting. You can see that in the drawing, right? That's sort of like crisscross area.
Damn. Well, I guess
There
that's
would likely be a netting leading up to that, so they could climb that netting and probably climb up that. But it would take probably at least 2 or 3 turns to actually get on top of.
Well, I'm guessing the hook ropes are not nearly as thick as the harpoon ropes.
No, they're just about as thick. They're specific. They are meant for pulling you in.
Huh. Are all of these grappling devices linked up to like a singular kind of firing mechanism?
It looks like they have come from 4 separate ropes. You can't quite see from the current position of the ship, as it is still again descending. You can't really see their top deck.
Hmm.
You can see 4 ropes leading up to that top deck, but it kind of goes around, the main sort of ledge of that top deck, and then you
Alright,
cannot.
Grandma will just keep eldritch blasting ropes then until we start getting boarded at least.
Okay, well that will occur on your turn. I'm actually gonna set forth the turn order. Moriarty gets out his little lute and starts to tune it a bit. He seems to be completely fine with everything that's going on, if anyone notices. Though it seems that the only one that really could notice is Crag. Crag, Moriarty seems completely fine with the inevitable. Speaking of which, Craig, it is your turn.
Ooh. Craig gives Moriarty a suspicious look and hold on, I have new ability.
You what?
I haven't used these abilities before. He casts a firebolt at one of the
Cast Fireball.
firebolt.
Okay. You're currently in a horrible position to do that, but you can attempt. It's not going to be an easy DC.
I don't know how to roll for that. Hold on.
Well, let's take a look. Firebolt. Duration instantaneous. Against target. So you see that spell in your cantrip, Firebolt?
Yeah.
You click on the little magnifying glass next, and that'll give you a drop down of the casting, the attack roll. There you go.
Take the first one. Or whichever one you want. I didn't realize they were different.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure neither of those would hit from your current location, unfortunately. So you fire up a bolt of fire, and it just shoots out over the top of the main deck, but doesn't really get you anywhere.
Do I have a movement left? I'm gonna start making my way
you
up
could,
to
you,
the.
you can do a movement still.
Okay.
You move like 5 feet. Well, that's 10.
Is that a jump down or a jump up?
That would be a jump up. And that would require really good acrobatic. Because you're basically jumping up a story right there. Yeah, there you go. Use the stairs. So that's 25. There you go. Do you have more than 30 movement? Oh wait, hold on. I'm stupid. Forgive me. I gotta put you back. These squares are 10 feet. My own fault. You
Alright, so
got
I'm
3
probably gonna
squares
get
of
there.
movement. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Next turn. Graham, it is your turn. They're bearing down on you.
Alright, I'm guessing the ship's still kind of at like 150 some odd feet away from us.
And closing in quickly.
I'm going to. Well, I guess I'll do my first Eldritch Blast attack first. Wah!
Wow.
And this is this is trying to destroy the one that I already hit before.
Okay, yeah, that hits, and you hit it with another blast, and it does sever the rope, and it just unceremoniously flops down.
Alright, real quick question. What ship is being pulled harder? Ours or theirs? Like if I destroy these ropes like lopsided, like destroy the ones that are on the right side, is our ship gonna get pulled to like go broadside to them, or is their ship gonna start getting pulled?
Given the size, just the general size difference, you would assume it would start to pull you guys to face them on your broadside. At the current rate at which you're doing it, you would basically turn your ship to face them on your port side. You do have two cannons in front, so that could potentially be a good thing. Because currently those two
so
cannons...
those are like actual cannons then.
Yes, you have two actual cannons on the front end of your ship, but they kind of have a limited range at which they can shoot at. They cannot currently aim them. Like I said, though, you do have two arbalists that seem to have almost full range and can shoot up into the incoming warship, and they are preparing to do so on their turn.
Alright, Graham is going to look at Zim before he starts firing the next blast. Not Zim, Ristforn. Ristforn, should I blast the, finish off the hook on the top side?
Yes, let's focus on getting them detached from our ship.
I mean, do you want me to use their hooks to turn the ship? You're the captain, after all.
Sure.
Alright, Graham will use a second Eldritch Blast for that one attack. I'm pretty sure. I guess it depends on what the AC of a rope is.
I'm mainly basing it off the distance at this point, since again it's not the same.
Well, Eldritch Blast does have like 120-foot range, so it's pretty accurate.
I mean, that's true, but again, you're also firing at something that is not, again, the size of a humanoid, but instead something the size of the arm of a humanoid.
True.
Which would reduce its AC from a normal base of 10 for any basically untrained humanoid. So that does fail.
Alright. Well, that's my turn for now.
Something's going on in chat with Jaffer.
Ristforn.
Correct. We've got turrets of our own, don't we? Yes.
Yes. Like I said, there are two arbalists that are getting ready to return fire on their turn.
Aren't there more? Just two?
Just the two that are within range. There's also two cannons on the front. But those cannons are currently... Yeah, you would need to be facing them to fire cannons. The cannons are in the design of the ship likely meant to be an assault weapon or, you know.
Alright, he's gonna spend his whole turn moving, shouting out, "Turn the ship!"
Where were you?
On the back. Like I said, I'm using my whole turn to move.
Oh, okay, so you're moving. Okay. You're taking into account that each square is 10 feet. Good.
Yes.
For a second, I thought you did a normal movement there, and I was just like, But yeah.
Turn the
Sounds good.
ship, get
All
those
good.
cannons in firing range.
Zim, give me a charisma roll to see how good you order these men around. They seem to, start getting to their stations and whatnot. You're telling them to turn the ship around?
Yeah, for the cannons.
For the cannon.
Line up the cannons.
Port or starboard side?
Doesn't really matter to me, whichever is better. I don't know where the I don't know where the opposing
will end up turning port side to them.
I don't know which. Okay, so just line up the cannons. That's what I want. I don't know where their ship is in exact relation to ours, so...
Directly behind you. You need to turn the ship a full 180.
Then that's what we're doing.
Okay. But the thing is, which direction? Because you... here, I'll even add in, as you're yelling this out, you start to notice some of the men running to the left, some of the men running to the right.
Okay, to the right.
The men on the left take a quick double take, but they start running back over to the right.
I would like to mention that if I do destroy the ropes, the left side of the ship is what's going to turn towards them, I think.
I mean, you could just destroy the left ropes so that it goes to the right now instead.
Okay, then I'll just say to the left. I don't know where these things are.
Behind you.
You
Directly
need
behind you.
to provide me with the information I need to make these decisions if you're going to request details.
What is unclear to you currently?
Okay, so they're directly behind. Right now, Eisen, I didn't know which rope he was breaking to go which way. So
We had established that Eisen had broken the bottom left hook that was in the captain's cabin.
okay. Then we'll go to the left.
Okay. Well, technically, from your perspective, it would be bottom left. From their perspective, it would be bottom right. But here, I'll just... Here.
Oi.
There. Where I'm drawing a black circle. That's where the rope was that Eisen destroyed. If that helps. Yeah, port side is left. Thank you, Shadowburn. Starboard side is right, port side is left.
Well, yes, that's all well and good, but we're going port side, okay?
Okay. I'm just letting you know. Okay, so they all start rushing to port side then. Your orders. Element, it is your turn.
Give me a moment.
Don't take too long now. You're keeping us all waiting. And I must say, I despise waiting. Oh, by the way, we've met our donation goal for today. Man! What happened to the notification? I didn't hear any big booming notification. Ethereal influence! Oh boy, what do we got here? It says see Telegram, but I see nothing in Telegram. Jaffer, what are you doing? Send me that ethereal
He sent it
influence.
to me so I can then send it on.
But he has my Telegram.
Yes, but it still has to go through me.
Oh no.
Zim approves the level of influence, and you approve if it actually is acceptable for game.
This is acceptable, I think.
Okay.
Let me throw a javelin at the what's it called, the balloon. Just to see
You're
if
throwing a javelin at the balloon?
Yeah, just to see if it can reach. If not,
What's your throwing range?
You can only throw about 20 feet.
Yeah, no, there's no way you're gonna hit their balloon with your javelin. They're still like 150 feet out currently.
It's closer to 100 now. But even still.
Then I'm just gonna count so much. I don't have anything. I don't have any.
You only plan on doing the one, Jeffrey, but later you want to wreak more mayhem and havoc, so you spend more and more until the entire party has been destroyed.
I'm just gonna skip out there because there's not much I can do at the moment.
Okay. Push that turn order. Or I'll do it. It is currently Kai's turn. Crag! Does Kai do anything?
I'm gonna roll a perception check on her.
Kai knows exactly what's going on.
She's gonna start hobbling upstairs. Or I guess out the door.
Waddling. Okay, that's 20 feet of movement.
Alright, she gets up next to me and looks around to see what she can do. I don't think she can do anything, so she's gonna wait.
That's fair. On to Desire.
I am going to use Produce Flame to shoot just a bit of fire at the rope above the one that Graham already destroyed.
Alright, sounds good. What is the range on that out of cure? Well, that's a nat 20.
It's 30.
Okay, 30 feet, that should be enough to just barely reach that. And with a nat 20, you set fire to that rope, and it just instantly, like, disintegrates. Like, you can see, like, ash particles falling down, and, like, the fire is slowly trailing up the other side of the rope. That might do something later.
Hell yeah.
Graham is going to yell, brace yourselves. Because this is going to be a very ugly turn the ship is going to take. Or at least a very violent one.
Okay, so on this part of the turn, all the guys are moving to the right side to flip out the sort of, large sails. So they're all running across. Oop, don't want that. They're all just quickly rushing across to the right side of the ship to help those sails unfurl and whatnot. A few of them stick behind to make sure the ones on the left side clasp shut to allow for that sort of turn maneuver. And the ship kind of, it kind of jerks everyone a little bit. As it tries to start to turn, it sort of pivots itself on those ropes that are trying to hold it back, which also help it. So the entire ship swings around about 90 degrees in the matter of just moments. And it is a bit jarring, but I don't think anyone in here would be. Yeah, you guys should be fine. You should be able to hold your ground fairly well. consider. Yeah. It's air, it's not waves, so it's not as horrible as of a turn as one might initially think. But it is still a bit jarring to everyone. The entire ship kind of like swings itself and is now broadside towards the incoming ship, sort of. The hook that had clasped on to the tail fin of the balloon seems to simply fall off, as the physics that were keeping it in place have now kind of been counteracted with the balloon now sideways to them instead of front facing. So the ship is now in a sort of broadside stance. Still needs to be turned a bit more to be able to fire. And the ship is sort of closing in fast, as stated before. It seems to be placing up its own sails, its own sort of fin sails, to just slow itself down to avoid too much of an impact. Though impact does seem to be nearly inevitable at this point.
I mean,
Snowy
they
ship.
would have impacted us before either way, except now that we're moving in a direction that would have move us a little bit away from it, at least.
You haven't really moved as much as you've pivoted.
I mean, by the time they finish crossing that 100 feet, we're going to be moving in a direction perpendicular to them.
At this close, it's at this point, it's closer to 50 feet. They're closing in. You're pretty sure they're going to hit you.
Alrighty, right?
They have deployed devices to slow themselves down, but you don't think that's going to stop them. Given that he's now facing the broadside, McCann casually take a few steps around the staircase and leans up against the stairwell. Like, kind of like casually glances over his shoulder at the incoming ship and back to plucking at the loot, just casually.
So were they planning on just ramming us in the ass before?
Good question. You don't know. There is still one rope that is connecting the two ships as well, that is in the captain's cabin. Because that one is harpooned in there, whereas the other one was a hook that was employed to the fins of the balloon. Whereas the hook, lost its slack and just fell off. The other one is still planted firmly in your back. Crag, it's your turn. Your enemy is now on the left side of the ship, instead of directly behind.
Sorry, I'm having some technical issues. Alright.
Is it a bus again?
No, it's not a bus this time.
Aw.
Is it an airplane?
That'd be worse.
Oh god, I hope not.
Never forget.
Crag is going to pull out his bow and line up a shot. Are they within range for that?
They're they're 50 feet. So for you, given that they're 50 feet away from the balloon, you're about another 10, 20, 30, 40. So they're about 100 feet away from you. Because they're 50 feet from the balloon and you're 50 feet into the main deck of the balloon. So it's a 100-foot shot for you.
Okay, I have a range of 150 on my longbow.
Okay, that's within range then. What are you shooting at?
I'm shooting at to see if I can hit anyone.
Enjoy your stay.
Or into one of the cannon holes, because most ships have that, right?
Oh yeah, this one definitely has some front-facing cannon hole. And your arrow fires and it goes into one of the holes. And the result of it is unknown, but still roll me damage, just in case.
Ignite that powder and blow it up!
My mouse keeps double-clicking,
Why are you firebolting?
because my mouse is flipping out.
I need damage for your longbow. There you go.
You know, if we manage to blow up another pirate ship,
Well, if you do, Zyre's got to do it.
I think.
By the way,
the one who did it last time.
by the way, that Zyre, that fire you fired before, it's still going up that dangling rope. It's that rope is still on fire and slowly being consumed like a giant fuse. I'm just throwing that out there. Anywho, Greg, is that the end of your turn?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, push it to Graham. Thank you. Graham, the turn falls to you.
Alright, so how close is the enemy ship?
As stated before, it's 50 feet off of the port side, if you're standing on the port side directly. You actually currently don't have line of sight because of the giant purple orb that you're currently behind.
Yeah, I move. I'll move here. What structural things of importance do I see?
The massive balloon and the hull of the ship.
What about their purple crystal thing?
Let me take another look at this balloon real quick. I do have art of it, but I don't know if they have a particular crystal thing behind this. I need to find it. There it is. You don't see anything on the top deck, but you do see some sort of metal pillars that actually feed into it from the bottom. Two to be exact.
I would like to try to aim my Eldritch Blast at wherever those metal pipes connect to their balloon.
Okay, interesting. You would notice that there's actually like a sort of plank of wood on the bottom of this, which kind of makes sense, because on your balloon there also seems to be a sort of like quote-unquote plank patch between where the gem itself connects directly to the air balloon.
Alright. And time for Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Those will both hit.
Sweet.
Roll the damage. Alright, so that's 12 damage. As you fire both of the blasts, you can see both of them start to crack the wood and the particular spot that you're firing at. It doesn't seem to completely destroy it, but it does seem to be fairly well damaged.
That's my turn.
Sworn. Captain.
Well, we're still turning. He's gonna...
You are in the action of turning, but you have lost some of the momentum from the hook losing its tension.
And how close is the other ship?
50 feet from your port side. From where you're at, it's going to be another 110 feet.
Alright, I'm gonna move here, grab onto something, shout out for people to brace for impact. Because it does look like they're planning to ram us, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Or at least,
yeah.
Well, not quite. It looks like like I said, they're deploying some sort of fins, fin-like sails, to try and slow themselves down. But it looks like impact is going to be somewhat inevitable. But they're not looking to straight up ram you guys.
Well, then I guess I won't tell them to brace for impact. I'm just gonna move there, grab onto that, and throw off a electrifying bolt at their ship.
Right. Give me that roll. And that damage.
And that's it for my turn.
All right. And that's just to the hull of the ship?
I'm gonna be targeting their... Well, what do I see? What do I actually... Are they on the same level as us?
They're getting much closer, yes, but it's still about, just like I'd say, about 20 feet higher. So it's still to
Okay.
that point where you just can't see anyone, unfortunately. But it's like, it's so close. Like,
Well,
you
it's
can
more
almost
I
see-
was wondering if I could see, like, their their armaments.
Gotcha.
But I'm guessing no, so yeah, just their hull.
Okay. It's 12 damage to the hull. All right. Element, it is currently your turn. By the way, remind me, your prisoner was tied to Kai, wasn't he?
No, he's supposed to be locked up in the brig.
Gotcha. Where's the brig?
I have
Isn't it
no
your map?
idea. You told me that the guards took the prisoner to the brig.
All right. I've got a position for him. I just want to keep track of his position. All right. Element. Element. Oh, you're just passing turn? Okay. Kai. Craig, does Kai do anything? I assume no.
She growls in frustration. But no.
Zaire. It is your turn.
Alright, how far away are they now?
As I stated, about 50 feet. They're about 20 feet high as well.
Okay.
They do seem to be sort of moving in a lowering, diagonal fashion, I should state it. If you had to guess the sort of general trajectory, it looks like they're more or less going to sort of sandwich balloons with decks. So their top deck will basically try to hit above your top deck so that their balloon hits above your balloon. That seems to be about the general projection of where they'll be headed.
Alright, there's not much I can do, so I'm just gonna move over.
All right, you take cover behind the big orb. And on this turn, everyone continues to sort of take their position. Risforn, you do notice 3 guards, particularly in the black sort of garb, that, seem to be a little bit different from the rest of the guards. They all seem to look towards this ship with a certain fire in their eyes as they begin drawing their weapons. Like, they seem to have some sort of... They seem to be a little bit more aware.
Vendetta?
Potentially, yes. Anywho, outside of that, nothing really of note happens. The ship does turn a bit more. At this point, though, it's less of a 90-degree turn and more of a 45. That does just barely get one of the cannons into position. It does look like there is. There's basically been a guy who's been sitting on it, prepared to fire. Basically holding an action. So, Risforn, I'll give you a free action if you want to order that cannon to fire, or if you want them to try and hold. Since
You said we're not quite lined up yet?
No, you've turned another 45 degrees, and it's just lined up enough that the leftmost cannon could take a shot. The guard is currently holding an action to do so, and I'm offering you a free action to give the order to fire.
I'd rather have both of them ready to fire.
Okay. You. So then, at the end of the
or at
ship's
least,
turn,
a definite shot. You were making it sound like it's a, they might have a shot. So, yeah, no.
Now, the left cannon is lined up and can take a shot, and he's holding a shot because they're basically about to ram. It would be basically point blank, though. So there's like a lot of factors to that. But it would probably hit because he'd basically be firing directly into the hull at that point. If that makes sense. Because this thing is closing in.
Okay, where are our cannons?
The cannons are...
Because I see these two things here on the sides.
Those are not the cannon.
What are those?
I honestly don't properly know. I assume it's rope?
They look like cannons.
I've been using the sort of marks up by the wheel as cannons.
But those make no sense for...
There's really nothing to stand in to me that makes sense for cannons, personally. So I've just been saying, okay, there's cannons.
Typically, the cannons are along the sides of the ship.
That is correct. But looking at the ship, there's no space for cannons.
Well, then you decide where they are.
That's why I said I've been using the front two markers, those little T things, as okay, that's basically where the cannons are. And I put two of these artillery boys on each of them. I know I put two artillery boys on the sides as well. But to be honest, I saw them more as deckhands personally. So the two areas where the front guys are, around the main wheel of the ship where the dragon guy is, that's where the two cannons. And the ship has turned another 45 degrees, so you're kind of at a skewed angle enough for the left cannon, the port side cannon, on the bow of the ship to fire. If that helps.
I'm still not really following you, but sure, fire.
Okay. I'm gonna roll something. Okay. And I'm gonna roll something else. Gosh dang it. I hate it when a PDF refreshes on me. Give me 1 second. I gotta page through this real quick. Alright, so the weapon fires. And damage it dealt. Wait, that's dice. My apologies. Let me just pull this up. Okay. So the cannon fires. But you glance over and it appears as though something has occurred. It appears as though an explosion has happened on that side of the ship. But given that the incoming vessel was basically ramming at approximately the same time, it appears as though equal damage has been imparted onto both ships as the two start to collide. Leaving a sort of hole. Both, like, a chunk of the deck is missing and the two guards that were there were blown back. They seem to be in really bad condition, but surprisingly they survived that. With a chunk of the deck gone and also a sort of breach in the enemy hull, where one of those cannon ports were. Unfortunately, no one's really in position to see the current status of that hull and anyone particularly in it. But at this point, the two ships are colliding, and I will need everyone to roll me an acrobatic or a dexterity saving throw. Your choice.
Keep in mind I did shout out for people to grab hold.
I believe you decided not to do that when you saw that they wouldn't be colliding as hard, and you instead just fired a bolt.
Oh. Okay. Well, I was still holding on.
Yes, you are, so...
Ag is useless.
Elman, you can go ahead and you so flawlessly see the incoming impact, you can actually use it to gain an additional movement. You can go ahead and make that movement right now as you kind of use the rocking and swing of the ship to basically just take a sort of leap in whatever direction you like.
Not
Pardon? Elman?
I'm not.
You keep cutting out.
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I was asking if somebody could recommend me what action to do because I don't want to miss this action, but I'm not sure what to do.
He's saying you can take like a free movement right now.
Yeah. Because you rolled that nat 20. So if you want to move at all, just give yourself a free movement. If not, the turn will continue. It's not your turn right now. I'm just giving you a free movement because of that nat 20. If you
I
want to
see.
move.
That's it.
Okay. All right. As the ships collide, everyone passes the check. It was a low DC. And you're all able to maintain your footing, although the ship quakes and shakes just a bit. In fact, a few things here. You do hear one windhelm scream as one guard falls off. Specifically the windhelm scream. If we have that, can we play that sound effect? Do we have that sound effect?
We do not.
Oh. What about the Goofy sound effect where Goofy's phone? Do we have that one?
You know, somebody with bits can go play whatever sounds they want.
I don't have bits. Looks like we got another ethereal influence. Did we disable the sound effects for influences and stuff?
They don't play for the points.
Oh.
I don't
Well,
have
they
a
should.
way to enable that.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Let me take a look. Zim, I'm gonna have you redeem those points.
What?
I think I'm gonna have you redeem refund those. I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Alrighty. Sorry, Shadow Brian. Some influence doesn't go through.
It's cute and I like it, but it's that's way out of left field.
Not right now is the thing.
Yeah, maybe another time. Maybe another time. This is a little too left field. Anywho, as the impact is made, I actually didn't make one for Moriarty. I need to make one for Moriarty. Make sure he doesn't net one. Okay, as the boat suddenly sways forward, Moriarty begins eagerly strumming on his lute and begins to happily sing. Just does anyone actually listen to him, or is everyone trying vehemently to ignore him? Because it seems as though he's
kind
starting
of
to.
trying to save the ship.
Yeah, I understand that. But
Graham
it
might
does-
be half listening to him, mostly because Moriarty has been known to speak of future events.
You would pick up he's starting to play a bit of a pirate shanty. To which the lyrics would be: Plunder with thunder, kill for the thrill, drink up me hearties till we've had our fill. Raise up your tankard into the sky, pirates forever from now till we die. And that takes up his turn.
Graham has one thought. Traitor.
The doll appears. We'll live. However, kill him.
Alright, so there's just a little bit more. Craig, it is your turn.
Alright. Can Crag see any of the pirates from his position?
At this point, impact is being made. And their lower part of their hull is colliding into your top deck. So people potentially on the back main deck can actually start to see some of the pirates now, recognizing some of the faces. On that lower portion, though, you don't quite have a target on anyone. You can see the ballistas from earlier that had fired on you and fired the hooks into the ship.
Is there anyone around those that I can see?
Give me a perception check. You might be able to make out just a bit of something.
Crag, don't fail me.
You think you can make out some pirate hats.
Alright, I'm gonna fire a firebolt towards that.
Alright, go ahead and give me a roll. Because of that beautiful accuracy, you seem to fire that firebolt off, and you hear someone shout out in pain and panic. Give me damage. Nice 9 damage. Before the hat quickly seems to duck down. Or fall off the head, from what you can tell. Hard to tell, really, but you're just able to sniper shot that.
Crag looks pleased with himself and keeps an eye on that.
Graham, it is your turn. At this
Alright.
point, I will note you can hear the forces on that deck moving.
Since they're not quite close enough, and I can't really, I'm pretty sure I won't be able to just shoot them super easily. I'm going to kill. I'm going to kill their fucking balloon.
You are on that upper deck, but yeah. All right, you can go ahead and fire for the balloon.
Well, I mean the same kind of metal piping thing that I was shooting at before.
Right, go ahead and give me some rolls.
Oops.
Well, there's at least one critical fumble in there.
Yeah, the 14 just ignore.
So Zim, we need a critical fumble for magic.
Those ones are usually quite fun.
Usually, yes. I am excited.
Ooh, the exclusive one. Not this time. Make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. On a failed check, draw another card. On a successful check, you may re-roll d20 results of a 1 for 1 hour.
Oh.
It is a high DC, but you got a chance.
Yes!
Does a 20 make it?
That does. The DC was an 18.
Nice. Okay. Well, Graham, looks like you get to re-roll ones.
Well,
For
since
now.
I accidentally kind of re-rolled it, can I just take that
Yeah,
14?
we can go ahead and take the 14.
You don't get to re-roll this one, though. It's just future ones.
Okay, so what happens this time?
This time it's just a miss. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
wait. I have something for this. I have something for this.
Do you now?
I use a lucky point on that one.
A lucky point?
Yeah, basically I get to re-roll that.
Using what? How? Who? What? Huh?
I'm a rabbit. I got lucky rabbit's feet.
Lucky rabbit's foot.
Yep.
You have 1 point of luck per long rest. Refer to the lucky feat in the PBH handbook. You may also re-roll one. Reroll a 1 per long rest. You must take the new result. Okay. I will state right now, though, if you choose to use this to reroll the 1, then you're not getting that exclusive card. You can reroll once for an hour.
Yeah, I'm gonna. No,
Because-
I did. No, I was gonna take the penalty anyway, so
Okay.
one of them hits still. So.
Yes. What do you're just firing at the? Yeah, that would still hit. Okay.
Oops, accidentally rolled twice. I keep forgetting that it's only like the skill check dice that you need to double click the icons for.
Okay.
Right.
If you don't start getting that in check, I'm gonna start taking the lower of the two. Okay, so you do 8 damage. You get another good smack off at the wood, and it seems to be cracking, and you even see some of it chip off and break apart. And you notice steam starting to psh right out of that, sort of vented area. Just
I'm
make a
kinda
loud
hoping just
sound.
to lower their balloon a bit.
It is a big balloon, so it might take some time. Maybe there might be something, I don't know.
Maybe if I don't explode it on my next turn.
All right. And at this point, you guys would see 3 heads poke up over the main decks, and each one seems to give its own sort of leap and entrance into the bow of your ship. Starting first and foremost with a massive alligator. He is wearing a sort of swashbucklers, big red long coat with a large fancy hat, a nice feather in it. It's tri-cornered. This individual seems to be a very heavy and large weight alligator. And as he leaps, he does so at a great distance, landing between a few of the guards, as well as landing directly next to the first mate. He brandishes a cutlass, and with nearly no effort, cuts two of the guards down. He then raises the cutlass up and makes a little announcement for everyone, shouting out, "If you're one of the king's men and not one of these dogs..." Oh, sorry, someone just mentioned me. "Fight me not, and I'll let you live, as you're in my domain now." And with that, he kind of strikes a more or less dramatic pose as he stands there on the deck, the W. Following him is another individual who I will allow them to introduce themselves.
Leaping off the ship and taking a graceful landing next to his apparent captain is a pine marten, dressed in average clothes. His brownish and cream-colored fur, seemingly slightly unkempt, but otherwise well trimmed. On his back, however, there is a black cape that looks something like a pirate flag, except with a dragon's head and bones. Noticeably, he is both unarmored and has not a weapon on him. But as he stands, he looks very confident.
I have converted another one.
Well, yes, but this pine marten is very much against you. What will you do?
Which one to curse?
And then, finally, the third one floats down with sort of, arms casually out to either side. This is a more cloaked figure who seems to sort of float down on a dark cloud with soft bits of lightning running about them and thunder softly rumbling from the cloud. These two individual guards, by the way, that are like to the left, they kind of got blown up, so they're kind of So just kind of like push them off the ship to reiterate that they're unconscious and prone, basically. And this one doesn't say a thing. They simply glance around at the people just sitting there floating menacingly. The first mate, who is basically just sitting right there, casually raises his hands. And
So, wait, what did the captain want us to do?
basically he said if you're not one of the guard dogs, if you stand down, he'll spare you.
Oh, okay.
He also killed two of them instantly upon his arrival. Just throwing that out there. He killed them instantly upon his arrival. He doesn't seem to be a pushover. I'm gonna throw that out there right now.
If this is another Twilight situation, Gold King, I'm going to be very upset with you.
See, this is why I was thinking you guys wouldn't like today's session.
Really? And you're gonna give us no way out but to surrender or risk a TPK?
Yeah.
You may try.
That's the problem here is that Risforn would not stand down.
Yeah.
Don't worry, there's story elements at work. Besides, I wouldn't kill you guys. You're my favorites so far. But then again, just think about all the other characters you could make. Or not.
Mammoth Bard.
You could make Mammoth. I don't know. But the first mate is definitely sort of standing down. Definitely fearful folk. But with that is the entrance of the enemy.
Are our ballistas capable of shooting onto our deck?
Probably actually, yeah.
Graham is gonna be like, hey, ballista guys, you might want to take aim at the big captain, dude.
No, keep going for their ship.
You'll be shooting for a while there.
Target their balloon.
Alright, so whose turn is it?
Right. I need to push turn order, and it's Risthorn's current.
Wait. No, wasn't it Crag's? Because it went from Magna to Risform.
It actually the last turn was yours, and I was actually waiting for it to come back around to Captain Ward for them to properly board.
Oh, okay.
So now there are 3 individuals that have been added to the combat. You may notice.
I saw.
So Risthorn, it is your turn. You have given them orders to continue to attempt to fire on the main ship.
Get off my ship!
I didn't take orders from you.
Your ship? I thought this was the king's ship. He makes big air quotations with his fingers when he says king.
Let's cast. Something that I just noticed that's a side note, Crag. Did you cast Mage Armor on yourself?
I don't have Mage Armor.
And where'd you get that effect of AC 3 up from?
I have no idea.
That's a good question.
Okay.
I don't
Remove
see
that.
it.
Applied by Risthorn.
Really?
That's what it says.
Weird.
I don't recall you casting Mage Armor on
I
him.
don't either.
I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. I'm sorry, but like, I don't know why that's there. That shouldn't be there.
I just noticed it randomly on the combat tracker, and I'm like, wait a sec. Crag,
Thanks
you
for pointing that out.
You can't use that if you've got armor.
It'll make the TPK easier. Thank you.
He is going to cast Bolt at 3rd level.
Great fun! Right, Boo?
Ooh, is that a major ethereal influence? Oh boy. As much as I would like to allow that, there are story reasons why I can't allow that. Unfortunately.
Alright, refunded.
We're rejecting all of them tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm going to be honest, one of them was plain nonsense. The other one has to do with a story character.
So, Ristvorn is going to rise up into the air about 10 feet and throw this spell at the enemy captain.
All right, sounds good.
It's the War of the Long Boys.
Does it hit?
Hold on. That actually does not hit. Well, it does seem to hit him. It glances off of him, but he does not seem fazed. He gives a bit of a laugh and aims his cutlass and goes, "I like you."
Great! Get off my ship!
No, you're in my domain. Taxes.
You don't seem to understand you're dealing with the king of the skies at the moment.
I do understand that you are intruding on my ship. And he gently lowers back down to the deck.
Element, is your turn.
Enemy for shoots Milo himself.
All right. I think you did it wrong. Let me take a look at it for you.
Oh yeah.
You
press the wrong
apply.
button.
Yeah, you apply the effect to yourself. And then the con say, hold on. Next time you hit a melee with during the spell's your weapon's flame will hit with hot attack. The target causing them to ignite in flames at the start of each of its turns. Ah, okay. So the Constitution saving throw is for at the start of each of its turns until the spell ends. Okay. So the next time you hit something with a melee, you'll be doing that extra fire damage.
Yeah.
And you have a movement.
That enemy is just casting in a serious battle, but he's not attacking immediately.
Okay, you have a movement. If you want to move. Okay. I'll allow you to do that if you give me an acrobatics roll. Because otherwise you gotta go down the stairs. Element? Beautiful. You basically charge forward, leap off of the upper deck, and land down on the lower deck, giving yourself both a little bit of distance, and Moriarty just kind of like glances at you out of a bit of surprise, but it's like, okay, damn, okay. Plus respect for Moriarty.
In considering he was thinking about being pirates, I don't think his respect means anything at the moment.
The floating sorcerer storm kind of glides over to this location.
Well, I thought it was cool.
and looks down to Risforn. It gives Risforn a rather curious look. And gotcha. It seems to kind of start flying towards him. It actually even floats above the guards who, kind of look up at it. Weapons drawn, watching curiously.
That man might have just made a very serious mistake.
Might have. It's hard to tell if they are approaching with hostile intent or not.
You know what?
Brisford is just watching, waiting.
Damn.
It is now Kai's turn.
Oh boy.
Sorry, still having technical difficulties. Kai is going to run towards the closest target.
Which is currently flying in the air.
Yeah, it's flying outside of melee range, just so you're aware. So you can either run.
How high up?
Say about a solid 10 feet.
I think
Bear
Kai
can jump
could
that.
reach that.
She is a large creature, so...
Yeah.
Does Kai have reach though?
I mean,
Kai doesn't need
just
reach,
simply going up
because-
on, standing up and clawing at them.
Okay, claws have a reach of 5 feet.
Yes.
And bite has a reach
And
of 5 feet.
Kai is also 10 feet by 10 feet by 10 feet for the purpose of statistics. Which means that them being 10 feet up means that Kai can reach them for clawing.
You got to think about the Z-axis here.
Yeah.
All right, I'll allow Kai to make an attack at disadvantage.
But why?
They're flying.
So?
That doesn't mean anything.
They're crazy agile. This is their environment.
Because I'm the DM.
I would
Don't-
like a second opinion.
That's just cheesing
Don't-
it unfairly.
Don't make me pull the DM card. I don't want to pull that card.
Oof.
And we need a fumble.
She tried.
Thank you, Shadowbrand, for pointing that out. I will promise, though, that these shenanigans are for the story.
Yeah, but so far you're throwing a bunch of stuff at us that we literally cannot... You're making it so we literally can't win. And it's kind of getting annoying.
I don't know.
So far, all of the bosses are literally unable to be beaten.
What if I
Cut
told
to
you
the
this isn't
quick. If this was a claw attack, your damage is reduced by 1d4 for 1 minute.
Oh boy.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's not terribly bad for Kai, I think, because she's got... Yeah, she's...
A bite attack?
Yeah, she does have a bite attack too, yes. But like her claws do a lot of damage. I don't think that's gonna hurt her too.
She does 2d6 plus 6 slashing.
Yeah. So she has a potential of 18. Now, at worst, she can hit a 4. I mean, best worst case scenario. I don't know.
Alright. Continuing on, please.
Zyre, it is your turn.
Alright, I'm just gonna move again.
Also, I will state, some of these enemies may not be beatable in the conventional manner, but they are beatable.
Note.
Yes,
Well,
everything's
the
beatable if you
entrance.
manage to manage to push them over a ship and they fall 5,000 feet, but that doesn't mean that we can.
Why not?
You say that, but you have ballista.
Yes, ballista, which are not accurate weapons, which would probably do more damage to our ship than it would to them.
You also have how many guards who can push with you?
To be fair, and also to add to the point, he literally disintegrated like 2 of them
Yeah.
on a whim. I should also add, I enjoy enemies that can be beaten more via wit and skill than via pure combat ability.
That's
Basically
all
a
fine
puzzle
and
boss.
dandy, but
Basically.
I don't think I don't think bosses should be a you have to solve the puzzle to win either.
I mean, you can attack him.
The brute force is an option, not a recommended option, but an option.
I will also state you do have some things going for you that have not exactly come into play yet, but they will. It's not as particularly hopeless as it seems, because it honestly never is.
I don't know if it matters going forward, but the average height for the bear that Kai is most closely resembling is 11 feet on both feet. On 2 feet.
Nice.
Big bear.
Which
Big
means
bear.
that she can attack 15 feet in the air. Moving on.
Yes.
City air.
He is not here. Sorry, what did you do?
I used my whole turn to move.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Where did you move? Okay, you look like you're in the same position to me, but okay.
I'm on like the opposite side of the orb thing now.
Yeah, because each square is 10 feet. Which means we can move a total of 3 squares a turn.
Moriarty starts to make a bit of a run towards the front deck, kind of pushing through some of the guards. He's like, "Hey, Ward! Over here!"
Who's that fox prick over there?
Captain Ward glances back to Magna, raises a brow to him, and is like, "You don't know him?"
It's a fox! I can't remember every fox.
There's McCann. He's even got posters up by the king.
Oh, it's him! Oh, what's he doing? Is he by you? No.
We were trying to capture him.
That's right. Alright. Stand down, fox boy.
He's just like, "Yes, I'm not affiliated."
Great. Aces.
That means safe passage, yes? And he just gives a bit of a nod.
Totally. Your hostage companions won't like you much, but you're safe.
Is your turn now, Magna.
Are there people within that dog right there is alive, yes?
The dog directly to your left is he.
Yes. Are there people within 5 spaces of me?
Several, yes.
Alright.
There are 2 of them that are downed, seem to have been knocked out via explosion.
Why can I not move my own character for some
This
reason?
is a good question. Is it released to you? Should be.
No?
Hold on. Let me take a look at this real quick. No, you own it.
Maybe if I close.
Here, let me try deleting your token and placing
Weird.
it again.
I can move the dragon. I can even move the dogs.
Try now.
No.
What the hell? Try
No?
now.
Yes. And how about from here?
Okay, I think you just need to be, I guess, friendly.
But I'm not. Oh well.
Question mark, exclamation point. Yeah.
Now, each square is 10 feet,
Each
yes?
square is 10 feet.
Howdy, Mr. Guardsman. Fancy a quick duel? I can't say it'll be very fair for you, though. We don't like your kind very much. And without waiting for much of a reply, he is going to claw him.
Make your attack. Alright, and roll your damage.
And due to special circumstances, he gets to add 3d6.
Special.
Rockish audacity. If I'm one-on-one, I get to sneak attack someone.
Interesting. Let me read over this real quick.
I have a guide open. I can share it with you.
I mean, it should be in your abilities or something.
Rockish audacity.
There it is. Starting at 3rd level, your unmistakable confidence propels you into battle. You can add your charisma modifier to your initiative rolls. In addition, you don't need advantage on attack rolls to use your sneak attack if no creature other than your target is within 5 feet of you. All other rules for sneak attack class features still apply to you. Turn, you can deal an additional 1d6 damage to one creature you hit. Have advantage on the attack. If you have advantage on the attack roll, the attack must use a finesse or ranged weapon. I believe you're using
Claws, which count as finesse.
Really? Okay. You don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it. That enemy is incapacitated and you don't have disadvantage.
I did forget about that charisma modifier thing.
Yeah. Ward is actually technically within 5 feet because he's on an
Oh,
axis of a tile. So yeah, no, that does allow sneak attack to go off because he's within 5 feet. Okay. So that's good. You do your damage. And the guard recoils, growling at you.
You ain't done yet, pup.
Is that the end of your turn?
Actually, I believe it in the species things. I get to make 2 claw attacks in place of an attack.
Let me take a look at your species.
Fine, Martin. Natural weapon.
Yep. I need to really quickly open it up from our Discord because we have special racials.
And no, I put the racial things in my profile.
Oh, that makes it so much easier. Thank you.
I try to help.
The Pine Marten has a claw attack.
Feats, traits. Here we go. Traits. Natural weapon. Claws. The Marten may make 2 attacks with his claws. These deal 1d4 slashing damage. Each are considered finesse weapons. Okay, there it is. So yes, you may make an additional attack with that. Oh, for a second I thought that was a 20. And go ahead,
Very
roll damage. Are you...
Let's see. If he's still alive, I suppose. Do 2 claws count as dual wielding?
Yes.
No. Oh, they do? Okay.
Great, I can use my bonus action to attack again.
My God.
Oh, he is going to murder this guard. He's not
No,
gonna
you
let his captain down.
cannot.
No?
Dual wielding means that you use your bonus action for your second attack. So you already used it.
But
The sneak attack.
no, the sneak attack is like a conjunction of the first attack
Yeah.
due to special circumstances.
Yeah, sneak attack is added damage onto the first attack. So the first clause there where you rolled a 17, that is your main attack, and then your offhand attack, as it's usually called, which also should not have had a attack modifier, so it would have been the straight 10, unless you've got feats that change
Well,
that.
it says that Pine Martens, in place of weapon attack, make 2 claw attacks.
It's counted as dual wielding.
That was not made clear.
I'm still stating it now, then.
Yeah. He
Fine,
made
then.
the races, so I gotta go by his rules.
Alright. I guess that'll be it for my turn.
Okay. You still end up doing, that's 18 plus 7, that's 25 damage. He's not looking the greatest. But he's still kind of standing, bleeding, and defiant. And that will end your turn. Crag, it is your turn.
Okay. Crag is going to shoot his bow at the person Kai was attacking.
Go ahead and give me that attack. Alright, that hits. Go ahead and give me damage. Your arrow thunk into the side of their shoulder, and it causes them to twitch their head back slightly before slowly moving to turn it back to you, Craig. Then it returns its gaze to wrist form.
Crag yells out a taunt when she looks at it.
They don't seem to particularly care. Also, you can't really tell if it's a he or a she. It's currently cloaked. I understand the token. It's kind of weird. I had something to have stand in that kind of painted a decent picture. I didn't have pictures for the other two. So they're just W and blank. Anywho, Graham, it is now your turn.
Well, Graham is going to move. So there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and he's still not in range of, what's his face, so.
Who?
The annoying people at the bow of the ship.
Oh, you mean Captain Ward.
There's more than one person up there.
Don't worry. If you want the turn, I'll give it to you.
Captain Ward just begins marching around the top deck and casually glances down, and then takes note of the 3 dogs in the sort of black garb, and then gestures his rather large fat cutlass down to them. Says, "Hey, you 3 are from Elra! I'll let you 3 live too, if you put up a good fight." And from there, he just kind of casually watch it, as he seems to be ever so confident with himself.
All right.
This one is your turn.
I am going... I'm just going to throw an electrifying bolt.
It's the same rule as last time, unfortunately. So it does glance off of him again, and he just looks to Ristforn again, and just like gives him one of those curious looks. Like,
I will
Oh.
not surrender my ship.
You don't have to surrender the ship. Never said we'd be taking it.
I will also not surrender my crew.
We're taking one person, but I highly doubt they're part of your crew.
Enemy is gonna call out to Warp. Who are you taking?
Well, there should be a particular sparrow on this deck. Or dear below.
If you wouldn't mind returning our mate, we'd be much obliged. Might even leave.
At the very least, we'd be giving you safe passage to Elra. They're good folks, after all.
Yeah, I've scuffed up the base of our ship, though. It's gonna be a while to paint that over again, though.
They said he was looking for a sparrow.
And what will you give me for not destroying your balloon?
Your lives, for starters.
And Ward casually, he moves a hand to his very long chin, given that he is, in fact, an alligator and has one heck of a chomper. Snaps his fingers and then points to him. How would you like a sword? That's what kids like these days, swords, right?
Sword look quite neat, Captain.
Elmin, are you doing anything?
No, enemy is actually gonna pass his turn.
This one, who had been taking attacks sort of left and right, starts to, like, gently waver about, floats up a bit more, because apparently they weren't flying as high as they thought they needed to. But then they will softly pull their hood back and look down to Ristforn. And Ristforn, you would see another otter. And roll me a perception check.
What is going on here?
The Storm Sorcerer, who had been attacked earlier, is pulling back their hood and looking at you. Alright, Ristforn. You notice something peculiar as they look into your eyes, and you find your eyes looking into theirs. The opposite eye of theirs is discolored and flickers. It's eerily familiar. At this point, though, they kind of casually glance to the side and do something. They sort of shoot out a blast towards Craig that they seem to have been saving.
I cast Counterspell.
Can you do that as a reaction?
Yes, that's the whole point of Counterspell.
Lovely. Does that require a roll?
What level is the spell they're casting?
So that's a bit of a confusing bit as well, because it states that this is technically a reaction, but I was saving it to make it more dramatic.
If it's a reaction, then it has to have a specific trigger.
The trigger is when they take damage.
It would have
When
had to
it
have
is
been...
hit by an attack.
Okay,
You
well,
can use
what
a reaction.
what level spell is it?
It's not a spell. As far as I can tell, it's not a spell. But by the by the writing of it, it's clearly a spell. But it doesn't actually list as a spell. So
Okay, that
Is it a
makes sense.
spell-like ability?
What is it?
It's a reaction.
That doesn't tell me anything.
It is called Wind's Lash. When the sorcerer is hit by an attack, it can use a reaction to force its attacker to make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes thunder damage, 46 thunder damage, and is pushed back 20 feet in the direction of the sorcerer's choosing.
Did he cast that on himself prior to the fight?
This isn't a spell; it's a reaction.
Okay, so it's a spell-like ability then.
It is a spell-like ability, so I'm going to allow him to counter spell it. But
If it's a level 3 spell or lower, then it just automatically fails and does nothing.
let me see what their spell levels kind of are. I'll go. Yeah, it's most likely either level 3 or lower, given the general leveling
Fact.
of the spells that they have. I'm going to go ahead and say that it's at least level 3 or lower, so yeah, it does dispel. And then they kind of look back to Ristforn, cock their
The
head to one side.
storm is mine.
It's Kai's turn. As stated, the Storm Sorcerer moved up higher.
Is she more than 15 feet high now?
Yes.
Kai roars sadly at her.
Is that a fucking bear? Holy
I
shit!
don't think she can reach anyone else. Yeah, she can.
Unfortunately, I do have to go in early, so we gotta wrap up here in the next
You
15.
did not warn me. I would have made things simpler. All right.
Or sooner.
Yes. Zyard, it's your turn.
I'm just gonna use it to move again. Just want to be up with the party.
I want to be with the party. There goes Snowy. So I'll just push it over to McCann. McCann just continues to run up the stairs. and takes the moral high ground and doesn't shove a guard over the edge.
Did you really have to roll for not
Yes!
murdering someone?
Because it's these guards.
They're still living people.
Are they though?
Just because they're morons doesn't make them any less of a living person. But there's plenty of morons in our world who probably deserve this. Who would probably deserve a similar treatment if they weren't people.
Now, while you're correct, these are also morons that are clones. And anyways,
Clone lives don't matter.
he's just casually running up there like, "Hi, okay, I'm here now.
Great.
Nice to see you again. Have you gotten taller?"
Hold up. I'm
What's
still
your-
trying to
what's
finish
your
this dog here.
jingle?
How early do we need to end? Just so that I have more of a ending point.
Within the next 15 to 20 minutes.
15 to... Okay! Wrap it up now. Gotcha. Proceed.
I guess I can just say I'll roll attacks and kill the dog if I can.
Sounds good. Roll damage.
And sneak attack do class feature.
Uh,
I only found out about a half hour ago, so.
Okay, gotcha. That's good to... Can't really blame that on you then. Sounds good. And as you clot him, that would be enough to make him fall over, bleeding out.
Pleased with his kill, he'll go over to Moriarty. So you're the one, are you?
I can't believe we haven't met.
I can't believe it either. I guess I am below deck, just sort of practicing them card tricks. You got anything to show? Or should we move this along?
Oh, I certainly have plenty of card tricks.
Great! You'll show me plenty, I hope.
Oh,
Thanks, sir.
absolutely. Whoop.
Graham is now looking very angry at Moriarty.
I told you not to trust him.
Listen, he's just acting in his own best interests. And that's us right now.
I mean, to be fair, they have promised safe passage, so...
Yeah, just give us a bird and everything will be good.
He casually shrugs his shoulders. The gangplank may be devastating at sea, but in the air, oh no. I'm not taking my chances!
Graham might try to throw Moriarty overboard.
That one looks mad. He looks super mad.
Craig, it is your turn still.
It's my turn?
Yes.
Oh boy. Alright, I'm gonna do my best.
You hit the sorcerer again.
Crag is just not hitting hard today.
Yeah, but you're still doing damage to them. As another arrow kind of like thunks into them. And they're just starting to look pained and somewhat annoyed.
Oi, with the longbow! Quit shooting my mate!
Alright, he's done. I don't know what else.
All right.
All right, time for some metaphorical finger cracking here. All right. First, cursing Magna.
Oi, you got a problem? Fucking bring it!
Alright, and now I need to do maddening hex damage. You get some. He gets some.
Maddening hex, you say?
Yeah. So
Don't.
as Graham curses you, the wreath he got from the Fae kind of starts to burn in the purple flames that kind of encase his body and yours as he curses you. And a similar wreath appears around your body as you feel madness start to seep into your mind.
Fuck!
Moriarty seems unaffected, but still takes damage.
Oh no, it actually hurts anyone who I choose who's within 5 feet of the person I curse. So
Does that count? These spaces are 10 blocks.
Oh, so he's
I'm
taking
pretty
fire
sure-
damage, not madness, the psychic damage.
it is psychic damage, but I'm illustrating the fucking flavor text, damn it.
Okay, gotcha. He seems to wince a bit, but generally doesn't seem terribly affected.
Oi! Bad rabbit! Bad!
Maybe this will teach you to kill random fucking people. And Eldritch Blast.
15 hits. He is, after all, without armor. Oh. You're not very consistent with them, are you? Yeah, I'll take my shots where I can get him. What did I do to you, though? He's the one that tricked. He's the one that's traitor.
He raises an eyebrow to Magna.
You are kind of ditching them.
I'm just trying to get to out.
I know. So you better keep skedaddling. I got some business with a rabbit now.
End of turn?
Yep.
So, at this point, you all may have remembered a natural 20 that may or may not have been rolled by Zyre.
Hell yeah.
As Ward opens his mouth to make some sort of casual comment, you notice, in fact, everyone notices as it kind of causes everyone to pause, an explosion on the main deck of the enemy warship,
This is the second time Zyre's blown up a ship.
followed by another, and then another, and it leads into a chain reaction. Unfortunately, though, that also encapsulates a good portion of the front area of the main ship, as well as some of the main front balloon. But at this point, the entire enemy ship is blowing up,
My
Mainly-
sheets.
mainly due to its massive stores of gunpowder. It was a warship.
My shit's on that shit.
Graham is kind of laughing at this a little bit.
And
And then
Okay.
you just see the warships starting to fall down at an accelerated pace. And, like, the large alligator captain kind of, like, softly tips his hat up. glancing down. He's like, well, this is a spot of bother.
Well, I think we gotta change our priorities. No more niceness.
He snaps his fingers. Right, we'll be surrendering then.
Beg your pardon, Captain. Beg your pardon.
Well, they're going to Elra, right?
The rest of our crew is on that ship.
Yes.
I might be right.
I believe they've all turned into little bits of dust.
Fair enough. I'm still mad though.
Graham's jaw is going to slowly drop as his along with his sword arm, as he's just staring between the pine marten and the alligator, just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Can I at least steal the rabbit?
Zaire will pull out his own cutlass and just point it upward and say, "We'll be accepting your surrender now."
He snaps his fingers
Will
and
we?
points over the wrist. He snaps his fingers and points over the wrist for him. All right, you with the indescribable hat. Parlay.
Last I checked, we're not pirates.
Still got an airship.
Will you parlay anyways?
I suppose.
He gives a... And then...
You are breaking out.
I'm sorry, I think I had a spot of lag there. He snaps his fingers again. Is like, "Oh, get back here!" And the storm sorcerer sort of huff of like electricity on their breath as they softly float back over. Right then. So I assume unconditional surrender. Should we go into your cabin?
Only you. The others will stay out here.
He gives a sort of side nod of his head and begins marching his way over. He looks down at Graham, reaches into his coat, pulls out a kind of magic-looking cutlass, and then plants it into the boards at his feet. There you go. Told you I'd get you a sword.
Graham is going to inspect this sword. Although at this point, I think Graham is starting to kind of like the pirates a little bit more than the king whose ship we're currently on.
I mean, Risford basically considers the ship his, not the king's anymore.
Magna's eyes are narrowing. He's like,
You two.
Oh, and Graham would like to kick Moriarty in the shins.
You three, including Moriarty, you all go right over next to the railing here. You guards, if they try to do anything, feel free to throw them overboard.
You're talking to the three in the black and yellow?
Oh, I'm talking to several of the guards around here, but mainly those three, yes. They've got an air, it sounds like they've got an air of, at least competence. But,
And then, like, the floating one kind of glances over to Risforn and is like, you know I can fly, right?
Risforn will just raise a brow. A very menacing one. Right.
Moriarty's just like casual, like raising
Kai?
his hands. I don't know why I'm included in all of this. Come on.
Kai, if
Because
that
you
one...
Friends, you bastard fox.
I
Kai,
didn't betray any.
if that one
I
does
should have
anything,
abandoned.
eat it.
Fucking, I'll fight a bear. What about it? I'll fight a
I nod happily.
Crag, if you're talking, you are sounding really far away.
Kai looks happy and waddles over to her guard.
I mean, shouldn't Crag be the one handling her?
Crag is staying close to Kai.
Okay.
What was my first mate's name again?
I had that written down somewhere, but I seem to have lost it.
Honey, you
His name
especially.
doesn't matter
You
anymore.
and me.
It doesn't. It
Sometime.
really doesn't matter anymore.
Then he's guard, so he can't make
Just shoot an order to the first mate. He'll comply.
I think at this point, Magna would probably see Snowy and the Dusty doll kind of giving him the "I'm watching you" hand signal.
No,
Of Graham's
Snowy's doing that. He looks down and sees Dusty trying to eat his boot and say like, "Who? What? What is this? Let go! Stop!
So,
Stop!"
Risforn, as you kind of go to meet the captain, he kind of like casually glances into the back corner, walks over there, just kind of like pulls that harpoon that was in there back out and just tosses it out the broken window. Right then.
Risforn would have called Zyre to come in with him.
Zyre.
He's not going to be solo in there.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh, the others, you know, the first mate as well, obviously.
Okay. So you come on down. Come on down.
And Risforn will just casually walk into his cabin, seating himself behind his desk, holding himself with a very imperious mannerism.
Captain Ward kind of does like a sort of, I don't know. If I could describe it as a cocky goose step, just following you in. He doesn't really seem terribly worried. He's still fairly confident with himself.
First off, get everything off of you. You can keep your small clothes, but that's it.
He blinks at you a few times and cocks his head. My small clothes.
Loincloth, whatever you may have.
Ah, no.
Well, then I guess you're staying aboard in the nude.
No.
As I recall, you were the one that suggested unconditional surrender.
Yes, but I'd expect a certain captain to at least treat people with decency.
We will find you a loincloth to wear. I'm sure you can understand my need
I'm fine
to...
with giving up my weapons, all the stuff that makes sense. I'm keeping my jacket there, and my pants, and my boots, and my hat.
The hat you cannot keep. The rest
All right,
you
fine.
will need...
That one's reasonable. He takes the hat off and places it on the desk. Look ridiculous anyways.
The rest of it, though, will need to be taken off so we can thoroughly inspect.
Zyre will
Before
take the
we'll
hat.
return it.
Oh, I'm fine with that. He shrugs off his coat, hands it over to Zyre.
No, what I was saying is Zyre will just put on the hat.
Oh, okay. But don't you already have a hat? No, you had a sword.
I have a sword and a fabulous mustache.
He has a sword
A
that gives
fabulous
him a mustache
goatee.
that would go perfectly with pirate hat.
It gives him a mustache and a goatee, but he already had a goatee, so now he has more of a goatee. Zyre looks like one of the three musketeers.
Yes, the look is complete.
Do you say that in character?
No, that was out of character.
Anyways, though, I think we should end here and pick up with the details of the surrender later.
I should I should also sort of note. I've kind of neglected to say, but as I said, the front end of the ship kind of got cut up in the explosion. Slowly but surely, you are noticing the ship is tilting down and forward.
Okay, Wristform will shout for people to go get to work on fixing that.
Right. They'll move into position to, do what they can, but we will go ahead and pick that up on the next session.
All right, everyone. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, I got called into work early tonight, so we've got to end a little bit early. We will be back next week with more Tales of Miraleth, Dungeons and Dragons. If you enjoyed this, do also check out our Tuesday group, Echoes of Eberron. That one is also a great time. I will be back tomorrow with Borderlands 3, followed by probably more Wargroove. So do come on by for those. We have lots of fun here on the channel, yes. Thank you all so much for joining, though. I am Raw Zim. This has been Tales of Miraleth, Dungeons and Dragons. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. All of the art on the channel is available there as merchandise. We've also got links to our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, all those good things. And you can find those links also down in the description of the channel and video if you're watching this on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that follow button, subscribe to the channel if you can. And again, thank you. I bid you all a very fond adieu.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye!
And then just a bunch of background noise. Thanks for that ending.
Get oofed on.
Yeah. Anyways, bye.